This is the horizontal rod rack system. Just to demonstrate it, I'm showing it maxed out at 3 rods on each side of the boat, so it's carrying 6 rods. I wanted a system that would keep the rods down low, close to the pontoon, so they wouldn't interfere with casting, especially with fly casting. And for me, they get in the way when they're in upright rod holders. So this solves that problem. For the rod holder end, there are 2 types of rod holders. This end is integrated 3-rod assembly strictly for fly rods. Here, those 3 are fixed in position. They can be very close together because fly reels are skinny. The tubes are slotted, and it holds the reel pretty firmly upright. You can also get individual rod holders with a universal holder. That's what I'm showing here. And here I've got 2 spinning reels and a bait casting reel loaded in here. But these 3 are strung together on the strap, and they're independent, so they can be moved side to side to adjust the spacing and overlapped a bit. You can also put fly rods in this universal holder. They go in just fine. At this end, for tips, if your rod is short, which I'm showing on this side with the conventional tackle, it's short of reaching the stabilizer bar, and so I made a gadget that clips on to the mount for the stabilizer bar brace, and I'll show this in detail in a moment in the video. And then these gray tubes can extend backwards to give you tip holders that are made out of plastic that are much closer to the reel. So as you can see, these are 7-foot rods. The shorter one up there is 6.5, so they don't quite make it to put the tip further up. Those tubes are half-inch electrical conduit pipe, and so you can make them longer if you wanted, probably up to 2 feet long. These are about 1 foot long. On the other side, I'm showing a different tip arrangement for longer rods that clamps onto the brace on the stabilizer bar, so that goes with the boat. You don't have to keep putting it on and taking it off when you're setting up the boat. And I'll show that again. I'll show that in more detail later on in the video. You can use either tip arrangement with either style of rod holder, so the tip choice is independent of the rod holder choice. I'm going to demonstrate how to put on the one of the rod holder types. This is the universal rod holder. These are like the ones on my stabilizer bar fly rod holders. They're a universal design. They have the slot for the trigger guard on casting rods, and they have a magnetic latch gate that closes to lock a rod in place. This configuration I've got right here is 3 individual rod holders. It's a little squirrely, but it gives you a lot of flexibility. So I just go around the tube. You want to do this, I think, just before you're ready to go in the water. You don't want to drag this strap across the beach, I don't think. It's inconvenient. Snap that in place. I overlap these just a little, and then hold that, tighten it down. So now I got 3 rod holders on this side, ready to go. This is the shortest rod I fish with. This is a 6.5 foot spinning rod. Okay, and so you can just drop it in the holder, close the gate. So I'm going to demonstrate how to set up the tip holder system for short rods. It goes up here. This is the brace on the stabilizer bar and the hinge fitting on the boat. And so what we're going to do is we're going to drop an adapter onto this. It's going to stay permanently at the boat, so you only have to do this attachment once. So you unscrew this bolt. You'll have to use tools. I pre-loosened this to make the video a little shorter. Okay, so do that and get that out of the way. What we're going to do is we're going to install this clip. This clip, it's a bracket, and it's going to hold some additional brackets that hold the tubes. And this piece goes on permanently onto your boat. It's the only thing you have to do. So you don't have to keep doing this over and over. From then on, everything just clips into place very easily. So that goes in. You put the hinge piece back in place. I'll take this out of the way so you can see what's going on. There's an 80mm bolt included in the kit, in case you need a longer bolt. So you put that on. The initial kits are going to have this style bolt. It needs a 5mm hex wrench. I have some bolts on order that need use a Phillips head instead, and they'll be shipping later. But for now, you can also just grab this with a pair of pliers while you're tightening down the nut end. Okay, and then the next thing you're going to find in your kit are the actual clips. And the clips come in two styles. There's a straight clip, like this, and there is a bent clip that looks like that. The bent clips go on the inside because the tube kind of rotates out here, and that helps to position the tube so it clears the stabilizer bar for your rod. And the straight clips go on the inside. Now these clips just go in with it. They have their own clip attach. So you just drop them in the hole and they snap into place and they won't come out. And to get them out, you push the tab and pop them right out. Then in your kit you've got two 1-foot pieces of pipe. These are 1/2 inch electrical PVC conduit. I picked that because it's gray, and I thought gray was a better color than white. You can also use 1/2 inch PVC white sprinkler pipe. And if you can get it in furniture grade black PVC 1/2 inch, that's great. You can use that as well. Any 1/2 inch Schedule 40 pipe is going to work. Now the actual tip holders are these arrangements, and you'll get a couple of each in your kit, a double and a single. Okay, for these the rod just goes right in here and rests down here in the bottom, and it is prevented from bouncing out. Okay, these just snap onto the tube. You can position them anywhere you want along the length of the tube. So I'm going to put one there and one there. And I'm probably going to need another one on the inside. I'm going to put like so. If this pops out, no problem, just pop it back in. Now at the end of the day, when you're done fishing, for getting this off, what I do is I just loosen both clips and take this whole thing off. Same on the other side. They come right out. This can be left on the boat. It works just fine still with this. And we made no, of course you can always go back and take this off and put your old 60mm bolt back in and return the boat to its original condition as you wish, okay? And this goes on without interfering with that without interfering with the thing that goes in there that clamps the stabilizer bar in place. Okay, so that's it. That's how the tip holder system works, and then you can position things so you got them where you want them. And again, this is what you need for rods that are too short to reach all the way up here. If they can reach the stabilizer bar and have a little length extra, then the arrangement that clamps right onto this bar is probably a better one. So next I'm going to demonstrate the tip holders for longer rods, in particular fly rods or probably 8-foot and up conventional rods. I have two holders on one side and one holder on the other. The way to use this is you just bring the rod up and drop it into the hole, and then it probably won't bounce out. I guess it could, but it probably won't, and probably is probably good enough for this. It matters which way you put it on because of the slope of this tube. So this way would make these vertical, which is what you want, and if you put it on backwards, then they'll be at a 45-degree angle, and that's you don't want. So it's just 4 screws on each side, and what I do is I start the first screw just barely. If you look inside these, on one side or the other, you see a letter, an S or a P. S is for starboard, P is for port. So there's a letter S. That tells you this goes on the starboard side of the pole for it to be oriented in the correct direction, so it can save you making a mistake. And having to sit there and redo everything, and so get a screw going on the other side. There's 4 screws on this holder. Probably 2 would have been enough, but I used 4. They're all stainless steel, so they're not going to corrode on you. Now there's no need to over tighten. This doesn't have to be very tight at all. I would leave it so that it's snug on the pole and you're able to move it with some effort with your hand, but not tighter than that. In general, with all the 3D printed parts, you want to not over tighten screws. So you can adjust the height later to get this bottom high enough to clear. If you have the seat here in the middle, which I don't have, you might want to put it a little bit higher. And that's all there is to installing that side. Next I'm going to demonstrate putting on the three rod holder. It's an integrated single piece to hold 3 fly rods. I did one of these because I can get 3 fly rods very, very close together because the reels are much skinnier. They all have gates. Let's see if it goes this way around. They have the same type of gate I've got on the other holders. Snapping into place. Okay. And installation goes pretty much the same way. It's easier when you've only got a single piece. Nothing's very floppy. Just put it on top. Now I put this on the side that I had the other type of tip holder. I'll put a rod in the holders next. So here's the fly rod holder system with 3 rods installed. The blue one is an 8-weight with a fighting butt, no problem going in the holder. And it goes into the clips up in front. So I'll get it off the wheels and get in the boat and show you how to put a rod in and out. So this system actually worked out pretty well for conveniently getting a rod in and out. If I wanted to get a fly rod out, I just open the gate, bring it out of the holder up front. Okay, in this case I was under the stabilizer bar, so I got to get it around that. And I've got my rod out. This one that goes under the bar. Same thing, just drop it back in the slot. Put the front and the holder up there. Close the gate. So for a spinning rod, it's pretty much the same thing. Just open the gate, get it out of the tip, pull it out, and bring out the rod. Put it away, just drop it back in the holder back here, put it in the slot, and close the gate. And that's it.